Hi kids, it's Miss Tabby again, and today I'm bringing you a book about perseverance. Wow, that's a big word, isn't it? But you know, perseverance has a very simple meaning. It just means never giving up and giving it your best try. Today's story is called Lauren and the Leaky Pail, and it's written by Bob Fuller, and it's published by Paddywhack Lane. The annual Fall Festival was only a few months away. Everyone hoped to win first prize in the gardening contest. No one hoped to win more than Lauren. She had never won the gardening contest before. In fact, she had never won any contest before. Things didn't start well. Lauren offered to help clean up the clubhouse, while the other kids were busy choosing their seeds for the contest. By the time it was Lauren's turn to choose, there was only one packet of seeds left. Brussels sprouts! Yuck! Lauren picked up the seeds and went to look for a watering pail. Lauren peeked into the dark garden shed. All of the watering cans are gone too. Then she saw an old pail under a bench. I guess you'll have to do, she said. Lauren picked up the pail and headed to the lake to fill it with water. And there's her old pail. While the other kids took a shortcut to the lake, Lauren chose a lonely, winding path through the hills. Lauren dipped her pail in the water and started back up the steep path to the garden. The pail was heavy and hard to carry. Water sloshed out the sides and dripped from the leaks in the bottom. By the time Lauren got back to the garden, she was very tired, and when she tipped the pail to water her seeds, only a few drops came out. Lauren looked at the holes in the bottom of her pail. Well, I guess I'll just have to make lots of trips to the lake with you, she said. Then I'll get enough water for my seeds. Lauren got up early the next morning. All day long, she carried her leaky pail up and down the dusty path from the lake to the garden. Each time Lauren reached the garden, she only had a tiny bit of water left. But Lauren didn't give up. She even shared some of her water with the smaller kids. Lauren patiently poured water over her seeds. Little by little, they would get just what they needed. One day, Lindsay stopped Lauren to talk. Lauren, my friend, what you need to fix that pail is a little honeybee honey, she said. Lindsay took the pail and smeared honey over the holes in the bottom. Here you go, said Lindsay. Lauren headed down the long path to the lake with her sticky pail. When she returned to the garden, only a few trickles of water came out. The honeybee honey didn't help. Next, Anthony offered to help. A little super beluga fixes anything, he said. Anthony grabbed the pail and smushed bubblegum onto the bottom. You sure that's going to work? Lauren asked. Sure it will, said Anthony. Lauren took her pail and headed down the path to the lake to fill her pail. When she finally returned to the garden, she had only a little water left in her pail. Again, the super beluga didn't help. Later that day, Madeline saw Lauren and called her over. Never found a leak anywhere that a little duct tape wouldn't fix, Madeline bragged. She grabbed the pail from Lauren and quickly wrapped some strips of tape around the pail and handed it back. Once more, Lauren filled her pail and headed up the path, splashing and sloshing water as usual. Along the way, the tape became soaked and most of the water leaked out, same as it had always done. The duct tape didn't help either. Week after week, Lauren carried her pail up the long, winding path to the lake and back, sloshing and leaking water all the way. Lauren just kept on hoping and praying her hard work would make her seeds grow. Oh, look how she's struggling. But no matter how hard Lauren worked, it didn't help. Finally, one day, as she looked down at the place where her Brussels sprouts were supposed to be growing, tears started flowing down her cheeks. "I'll never win anything, ever," she said. And there she goes. Lauren's mother met her at the door. "Mama, I've watered my Brussels sprouts every day, but it's not enough to make them grow," she said. Mother held Lauren tight. "My precious little one, it was your job to water the seeds, but it's God's job to make things grow. Let's wait and see what He does with all of your hard work." Lauren decided to stop worrying about her seeds. She spent her time helping the other kids with their gardens. On the day of the festival, Lauren heard someone calling her name. "Lauren, come quick! Look what you've done!" Rachel yelled. I wonder. Beautiful wildflowers had bloomed all along Lauren's path. "How did this happen?" Lauren asked. "You never gave up on your leaky pail, and God never gave up on you," Rachel replied. That's some garden. At the festival celebration, Lauren's wildflowers won first prize. Everyone shouted, "Hooray for Lauren and her leaky pail!" The first place ribbon and a shiny gold trophy were placed on the table in front of her. Lauren thanked everyone for the ribbon, but she told them that they could keep the trophy because she already had one, her leaky pail. Well, Lauren never gave up, did she? She used perseverance. She kept on going, and God never gave up on her. But what was some of the other things that Lauren did that she was probably rewarded for? At the beginning, she offered to clean the clubhouse while all of the other kids got first choice of the seeds. And then carrying all that water, even though she didn't have an awful lot, she shared what she had with the other little children. And at the end, instead of worrying about her garden, she decided to help the other kids in theirs. So God will always reward kindness as well. There's a verse in the Bible that I'd like to share with you. It's in the book of Galatians. It's in chapter 6. It's verse 9. And it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So just remember that the next time that you have a task to do that's a little tough or that seems almost impossible, just keep trying and never give up, and God will reward your perseverance. So that's it for me today, kids. Until next time, have a great week.